Hi everybody, it's Erin from Wisdom Seekers. Thanks for joining me. So the topic that I wanted to talk about today is being an empath. It's not the same as empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, like our heart goes out to them. For an empath, it goes much deeper and farther. We actually feel other people's emotions, their energy, and physical symptoms in our own bodies without the usual defenses that most people have. An empath is actually a person with the paranormal ability to actually feel the mental or emotional state of another person. For many years, I did not understand why I felt things so deeply, why I could feel like I was going through the same thing as somebody else, whether it was a sad occasion or even a happy occasion. Dr. Judith Orloff, she says that the hallmark of an empath is that they feel and absorb other people's emotions or physical symptoms because we're highly sensitive. We filter the world through their intuition, and we have a difficult time intellectualizing our feelings. When we're overwhelmed with the impact from stressful situations, we can have panic attacks, we can have depression, chronic fatigue, binges, whether it's food, sex, drugs. Many of the physical symptoms really defy the traditional medical diagnosis. She also lists some traits of an empath. The first one being that we are highly sensitive. We're actually naturally giving and spiritually open, excellent listeners. Empaths have a heart. Through thick and thin, we'll be there for you. We are world-class nurturers. Empaths, we absorb other people's emotions. We're highly attuned to the moods of others, whether it's good or bad. We feel everything, and sometimes it's to an extreme. We take on negativity such as anger or anxiety, and it's exhausting. It really is exhausting. If we're around peace and love, our bodies take this on and we really flourish. Many empaths are introverts, and I can attest to that. I am a true introvert. I enjoy small gatherings, spending time with just one or a couple friends. Now, I do enjoy going to concerts. I'm a concert goer. And the thing with that is I have to then spend time by myself to recharge from it. It's like limiting the amount of time I can be in a crowd or even at a party. Okay. Empaths are also highly intuitive. We can experience the world through our intuition, which then it can amplify our empathy. We tend to be, we tend to find like positive relationships. We go by our gut feelings and we follow that, or we should follow that. I didn't follow that for a very long time. And we try and avoid energy vampires, which I'll go into in a few minutes. Empaths need alone time. That's just the way it is. We can get drained from people, and that alone time, that brief escape, prevents us from emotional overload. It allows us to recharge. Going places, we often take our own vehicles. The other thing that we are targets for are the energy vampires. Now, our sensitivity makes us easy marks for the energy vampires, whose fear or rage can zap their energy and peace of mind. So energy vampires are regular people who have allowed their vibration to go so low that they need to feed off of another person. We usually vibrate at a very high rate, but they're constantly seeking attention, constantly having drama, and we get sucked into that and we feel that, and it just zaps everything from us. We also become overwhelmed in intimate relationships. Too much togetherness is too much for us. It's very important for me to have my independence, to have my alone time. And this includes relationships even with my children. You know, I will go off for a little bit just to meditate, to just recharge, kind of get in touch with my feelings and my emotions. We have highly attuned senses. So our nerves can get frayed. It can get just all goofed up by certain noises, by smells, excessive talking. We have huge hearts. Sometimes we give too much. We try to relieve the pain of others. You know, we want to nurture, and it's very natural for us to want to take away or ease the pain of another person. We don't stop there, though. We take on the feelings, the pain, and suddenly we're the ones that are feeling drained, and they're okay. So, ways to help ourselves. Number one is being aware. There are online some tests that you can take that ask you certain questions to see if you are an empath. Those are some of the things I just talked about. We replenish our energy when we are in nature. It helps so much. Going for walks, hiking, bike riding, being out near the trees, plant life, just Mother Earth. I have a lake very close to my house, so I spend a lot of time there. For me, I'm also a Scorpio rising, so the water, just listening to it as I'm walking up and down the beach, is so soothing for me. It really grounds me and helps me. There's even, you know, different traditions. I know Native American have traditions of sweat lodges, which I participate in, and it's phenomenal. It's about getting back to Mother Earth, being one with the earth, being one with the insects, all of us. It's very important for us to put a strict time management schedule together. And that's by setting boundaries, especially with the people that are draining. I will tell you from personal experience, I have spent about 8 months with an individual who was a total energy vampire, and it was one crisis after another, and I was trying to help, trying to fix, and a little bit of probably codependency. But what I learned is we cannot fix things in that way for others. People have to want to fix things themselves. We can be supportive and love them, but setting boundaries. One very important way that I will protect myself is visualizing the white light of protection around me so that nothing negative can get in, so I won't feel the emotions of people. And I do this with my children. You know, my children are going through a situation where their dad is getting divorced and he's not doing so well, you know, and they're hurting because they're not being able to spend enough time with him. And you know, when this happened before, I was taking on their emotions. I was feeling the sorrow, the missing, the sadness, and this time I am being aware and making sure I put that protection around me. And I am there for them as a mom. And I can do that by setting up those boundaries, by talking to them, communicating, being open, allowing them to talk. But it's all without me taking on those emotions, okay? We have special needs. We just do. I am a very big advocate of self-care. And for a very long time, I felt guilty when it came to self-care. I thought, you know, there's something to be done, or one of my children need this, or this needs done, that I don't have time to take care of myself. And I was the one that suffered, you know, exhaustion, not eating healthy. But it's very important for us to be aware, to protect ourselves, to do things for ourselves, you know, even if it's painting our nails or taking a hot bath with bath salts and lavender, or, you know, it could be anything. It could be going for walks. It can be getting our hair done, reading a book, meditating. Meditating is huge for empaths. It helps us to get in touch with our higher self and to ground us, to relax us. I'm a big advocate for that as well. Eating healthy is so important. There is so much processed garbage out there and pesticides on foods. And again, I'm a huge advocate for organic, non-GMO. And don't get me wrong, I do have myself a cup of ice cream or something now and then, but for the most part, I eat healthy. And exercising, whether it's yoga, qigong, walks, anything that makes you happy, but getting our body moving, getting our blood moving, the circulation, it's so good for us, especially for stress. So I just wanted to touch base, and I wanted to share that with you because there was a long time I had no idea why I was feeling the things that I did. And when I did learn, it was like this aha moment, like, oh my gosh, this is me. And I'm not, you know, like I thought I was crazy sometimes, like what was going on, but it's a real thing. So take care of yourself. Have a great, happy weekend. Peace.